Bhagavad Gita Chapter 1. The sun has risen. On the vast plains of Kurukshetra, two mighty armies stand facing each other. Millions of warriors, thousands of chariots, elephants, horses, and countless soldiers are ready for battle. This is not merely a war. It is the final confrontation between two branches of the same family. Far away in Hastinapur, the blind king Dhritarashtra sits anxiously. Unable to witness the battlefield himself, he asks Sanjaya, "O Sanjaya, on the sacred land of Kurukshetra, what are my sons and the sons of Pandu doing?" This single question reveals the deepest reason behind the war. Dhritarashtra does not consider the Pandavas to be part of his own family. He refers to the Kauravas as "my sons" and the Pandavas as the sons of Pandu. This sense of separation, attachment, and favoritism gradually grows into one of the greatest wars in history. Sanjaya begins narrating everything unfolding on the battlefield. The first to react is Duryodhana. He looks at the well-organized Pandava army and realizes how powerful it is. Outwardly, he appears confident, but inwardly, he is uneasy. He immediately approaches his teacher, Dronacharya. Pointing toward the Pandava formation, he reminds Drona that the army has been arranged by Dhritarashtra, ironically, Drona's own disciple, whom he had personally trained. Duryodhana then lists the great warriors on both sides, trying to boost the morale of his own army. At that moment, the senior-most warrior, Bhishma Pitamah, blows his mighty conch. Its thunderous sound echoes across Kurukshetra. Soon, drums, trumpets, war horns, and thousands of conches begin sounding together. It feels as though the earth itself is announcing the beginning of war. Then, from the Pandava side, Shri Krishna and Arjuna blow their divine conches. Their powerful sound shakes the hearts of many warriors in the Kaurava army. The battle is about to begin. Arjuna then turns to Shri Krishna and says, "Please place my chariot between the two armies. I wish to see those with whom I must fight." Without saying a word, Shri Krishna drives the chariot into the space between the two armies and stops it directly before Bhishma Pitamah and Dronacharya. Arjuna looks ahead. He does not see enemies. He sees his grandfather, his teacher, his brothers, uncles, cousins, friends, and relatives. The war that he had believed to be a righteous battle suddenly becomes a heartbreaking vision of his own family's destruction. This is where Arjuna's inner conflict begins. His body starts trembling. His mouth goes dry. His bow and arrows begin slipping from his hands. His mind becomes confused. The warrior who had never feared any battle now finds himself breaking down before his own loved ones. Arjuna says, "What is the value of a kingdom if it comes at the cost of destroying our own family?" He fears that if families are destroyed, society itself will collapse. Traditions, values, and the moral foundation of civilization will disappear. Even victory now feels like defeat. Finally, Arjuna lays down his bow. He sits down in his chariot and declares that he will not fight. This is where Chapter 1 comes to an end. Just moments before the greatest war in history begins, the world's greatest warrior finds himself facing the biggest mental and emotional crisis of his life. And at that very moment, Shri Krishna begins to speak. Thus begins the Bhagavad Gita, a timeless dialogue that has guided millions of people for thousands of years. Even today, whenever the wall between ours and theirs is built within families, businesses, or over property, homes are divided, relationships are broken, and even great empires fall apart. History and modern news are filled with examples where family disputes did not remain confined to the household. They affected businesses, society, and the lives of thousands of people. Many such conflicts begin over something seemingly small: ego, favoritism, inheritance, authority, or ownership. Gradually, conversations stop, trust breaks down, and families split into opposing sides. The consequences extend far beyond the family itself, affecting employees, investors, customers, and society at large. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita reminds us that no great conflict begins on a battlefield. It begins in the human mind. The moment we start dividing people into ours and theirs, the seed of conflict is planted. The war of Kurukshetra did not erupt overnight. It was the outcome of years of attachment, partiality, ego, misunderstanding, and the failure of dialogue. That is why Chapter 1 is not merely a historical account. It is a timeless warning for every family, every business, every organization, and every individual. If you enjoyed this video and would like to explore the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and other great epics of Bharat, please consider subscribing to Mahakavya.